right, let's talk about scope creep. What is scope creep? It's when you have plans for renovations and your scope keeps creeping up higher and higher and higher. This is something to be very careful of, particularly when renovating for rentals or for quick flips. So you need to be very careful if you're adding anything to your scope, it needs to be worth it. Think about going to the grocery store hungry, right? You go to the grocery store, you're like, well, I need some milk, I need some eggs. You show up, you see, oh, well, I forgot I maybe wanted this. Oh, there's a chocolate bar by the cash. Oh, there's some peanut butter there. I forgot to grab some. What's this on the end display? Let me grab some of that too. That's why, when they're recommending budgeting, they say don't go to the grocery store hungry, because then you go buy a lot more than you need to. Go to the grocery store with a list, right? So this is a budget tip. Go to the grocery store with a grocery list of what you need. And if you're sticking on a budget, be careful to only buy those things. Well, this is the same thing. When you're renovating a house, lay out the list of what you want to do, plan your scope of work ahead of time, and then make sure you try your best to stick to what is on that scope. Be careful of scope creep. So you start your budget, you say, I'm going to spend $50,000 on this flip, and then it creeps up. Oh, well, what's an extra $1,000 for tiling that one area? What's an extra $5,000 for this? Oh, they found this issue. Okay, let's go above it. Now, you also can't just say, well, I'm spending $50,000 no matter what comes up, and you open up a wall and it's full of knob and tube wiring and illegal junctions and things like that. And you say, well, I don't have the budget for it, too bad. No, you still need to make sure you can handle renovations, handle issues that come up during renovations. Some renovations are going to cost more. There are going to be surprises. There's surprises on every renovation. But it's important that when you plan your design, that you plan it out and you stick to that design as much as possible. So, you know what they say, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. An important tip to avoid scope creep is to design your finishes and what you want to do before you start doing the renovations. So instead of coming in like, oh, we just tore everything out and we're going to put this in, what kind of kitchen do you want? What kind of countertops do you want? No, you can have your design before you start demolishing everything. And if you have that done, you now know what you need to put back in. So if you plan ahead of time, you can design it on paper. You know what? I'm going to go with white shaker doors. I'm going to do a quartz countertop with marble veining, and I'm going to do black handles. And to match that, I'm going to do a white subway tile with dark charcoal grout. It's going to tie the black in. And then as I design the house, for example, I'm going to do black light fixtures that tie all of these elements together. Black doorknobs, for example, if you're going with that theme. So you have this design ahead of time. Now you know what needs to be done, and you're not trying to do things outside of that. Scope creep is particularly dangerous on renovations because when you're renting out a property, you want to be a nice property. You want to be one of, in the better half of the properties available for sure, because you want to be able to choose an excellent tenant when you're selecting. You want to be able to charge a good price for your property, but more importantly, you want to be able to find good qualified applicants. So you don't want to have a rundown property. And let's face it, we don't want to be slumlords. We want to have quality rentals and put quality houses into the housing stock. So it's important to put out quality product. However, it's very easy to look at a rental and go, oh, well, I would want quartz countertops here, or I would want, this glass door on a shower instead of, a bathtub in this, or I would want, a deep soaker tub that's freestanding. So you can go higher finishes. I would love to have heated floors in my bathroom. Let me put that into my rental unit. And there is a place for that for the right type of property, particularly luxury properties where you're really charging a premium. However, what you want to do is you want to look at what the competition is, and you want to design your plan based on what the competition is providing and go slightly nicer. So if all of your competition for rentals that are charging a good price and attracting good candidates have laminate countertops, then you don't need to go above that. Now, you might go something like, well, what if I did laminate countertops? They don't have tiled backsplashes. So maybe you choose something ahead of time that you add that to, or maybe it's just an extra design touch. Maybe you pick one wall in a living room and you decide to paint that a different color as an accent wall. So maybe you're just adding a little bit of design flair to be slightly better than the competition in terms of rentals. But planning out what you're going to do based on where you need to be is going to help you later. So then when you have your cabinets in and you're trying to pick what kind of countertops you want, you don't go, well, I would love to see quartz. That's not the time. You have your plan already. Stick to your plan and avoid scope creep.